Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. One of the wonderful things I love about all the budgeting channels is you get to see how everyone else pays their bills and what they do and how they manage their money. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, and it's going to be kind of a two-part video in one. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on how I pay my bills. Number one, I get the mail. Many of my bills I do pay and write checks. You're probably going, what? People still do that? Yes, I do. Not all my bills, but some of my bills. So when the mail comes, usually around noonish or so, I get it. Then I put it in this basket here, and then later on, I deal with it. Okay? Then, at the end of the day or whenever I go through my mail, let's say I receive my Time Warner internet and cable bill, okay, and phone. All of it goes together. What I do is I take my bills and I store them over here in this little side drawer where I know where they are. Address labels and everything here. Okay, here's my Blue Cross Blue Shield bill, which is about to be paid probably Tuesday, by the way. So I keep all of my bills here so I know where they're at. Most of my bills get paid by check. Some get paid on a charge card. But, like I said, I always know where they are, and I do keep some of my older bills in here too. They're all nice and neat. Stay tuned. Meet me at the table, and I'll tell you about how I pay my bills. Thanks, everybody. Love you. See you in a second. Bye. Hello, everybody. Money Mom, Part 2, How I Pay My Bills. As I've told many of you, I'm kind of old-fashioned about how I pay my bills because I do write several checks. I do also have some bills go on my charge card that I pay completely in full, okay? So, I work for two companies. One pays me by PayPal, but that's a very small account. The other, which is my main account, I get a check once a month around the 20th. Because I'm an independent contractor, what I make each month differs. So I always try to budget and work with what I think the smallest amount could be. And then during my really good months, I try to maybe put extra in savings or get something that maybe the family's really needing, something of that nature. Okay, so I really work ahead. The first thing I do when I get my check is I see if I have any money left over from the past cash envelope system. If I do, I might take out less cash. I take out our cash. I put the money, all of the money, into our checking account. Then when I get home, I do online banking, and I transfer some of that money. This is if I'm not paying any debt. Some of the money goes into the sinking fund for IRS. Some of the money goes into sinking fund for the house taxes, since we own our home free and clear. The other thing is emergency savings, so I put money in those. But before I do any of this, what I do, and it generally stays fairly similar, occasionally there's a change, I write out all of my bills, and I also have them on a spreadsheet, but I kind of like to have them in front of me. I write out all the bills and sinking funds and everything on a sheet of paper like this. Then, when I pay the bill, and one of the first things I pay is my charge card bill because that has some of my actual bills on it. For example, my house and car insurance is on my Discover bill. So after I make sure the money's in the bank, I'll come home and I'll call Discover and I'll pay. They've got my bank information, and I'll pay that over the phone. So I have a couple bills I pay over the phone. I do have one bill that comes out of a savings account that I don't keep a lot of money in. That's my gym membership, and it's $11 a month. And, oh yeah, and I have my husband's life insurance comes out of there too. So I always have to make sure money's in there. But for the most part, I do write, quite a few checks, which I know is unusual. But I like to plan a month ahead with what I think I might be making that month, because I have a pretty good guesstimate, and what all my bills are, and plan accordingly. And that's kind of how I do it. And then I write it out. So let's say, for example, I write out the electric bill, and it has electric, gas, water, sewage, the whole thing's on there. We'll say it's $225. So once I pay that, I'll scratch it off my list, okay? And obviously put it in my check register and subtract it. I also have this stuff on a spreadsheet too. So this is how I do it. Everyone's a little bit different, but this is what's working for me right now, and it's what I like and what works for us. This month, for example, we've got a couple graduation parties. So we'll have to, buy a couple little gifts. We don't have to, but it's family and we really want to. So there'll be a little money going for that. So each month's a little bit different, but Like I said, I like putting a pen and a piece of paper to it and also keeping it on a spreadsheet. I'd love to know how you organize your bills, guys, because I always have a lot to learn. Stay tuned tomorrow because I'm going to talk about why we're not putting any money in sinking funds for 3 months. Stay tuned tomorrow. Love you. Bye.